Hello, my name is Terrence White, and I'm doing my presentation on the instructional design of the nature of science. During this presentation, I am going to be talking about basically my lesson, and I'm going to be flipping through a lot of tabs during my presentation. So, basically, the nature of science is basically explaining what science is and how it works and why do we need to learn it. A lot of students come to my class and they know facts about science, but they truly don't understand what science is. So this unit's a good first unit of the year to really teach them what it is. And in this lesson, this is all basically talking about the history of science and basically what it entails. Uh, Probably one of the most important sections of their science careers. All right. The objective of this lesson is to look at hold on. Sorry. The object, demographics. Let's take a look at the demographics of my students. I am a teacher at Still Middle School in Aurora, Illinois. I am a seventh grade science teacher. I have 5 sections of science, totaling 146 students. 49% of my students are white, 26% Asian. Part of that Asian, obviously, is Indian. 11% Hispanic, 8% Black, and 6% biracial. So a very diverse school, um, ethnically diverse and socially economic diverse, because we also pull students from Naperville, Illinois, probably 50% of our population of our students. All right. The objective of the lessons is the students will be able to, at the end of this lesson, list and describe the 5 branches of science, explain the reasons for the field of science to be divided into 5 branches, list and describe one sub-branch of each branch of science, and predict how the advancement of science would be affected if all scientists had to be experts in all branches of science. So that's really the objective of the lesson. So my lesson breakdown. On the first day, I have the students take the reading home and read the article on the history of science, and do the notes at home. And I do this on Google Classroom. I will show you Google Classroom later in my technology portion. First, I'm going to show you what the notes look like. So right here, if you take a look, this is the notes for the history of science. And whenever I put it on Google Classroom, it makes a copy for each student, and it'll make the copy right here. But I took the student's name out because I wanted to keep that student anonymous. So these are his notes. All right. So if you take a look, this is the article here. It's about a page and a half. Actually, it's 2 pages. Sorry about that. They range from a page to 2 pages depending on the depth of the topic. All right. And here are the notes that they do. What I do fill in a blank, and I give them a word bank, and I have blanks that they have to fill in. And if you take a look right here, this student did a very nice job of filling in his notes. And this is 10% of their grade. This is just participation. And all along with that participation is I do discussion questions on Google Classroom, which I will show you later. So this is the day 1, what it'll look like. So basically after day 1, we're going to discuss it. We're going to go over the notes and basically have any questions. All right. On the second and third day, they're going to be doing a presentation. They're going to be in groups of 3 to 4, and they're basically going to do research on the 5 different branches of science and their sub-branches. So if you take a look right here, this is the presentation that I also put on Google Classroom for them to refer to as they're doing their 5 branches of science poster. In each group, there are 2 researchers, artists, and a secretary, but obviously all of them are allowed to do research at different times. All right, so this is the idea. You see what the researcher will do. And again, I started off with 2, but again, all the students are allowed to help each other out with different things. Take a look. This is the artist's job. Take a look there for a second. Basically, the artist is going to be the person who creates the tree. Secretary, they are going to make sure that the spelling is correct and basically the skeleton of the poster is correct. And these are responsibility for all group members. Basically stay focused, remain positive, basically stay on task, and they will help assemble the poster, help clean up supplies. And went over this with the students before they got in their groups. Okay, take a look right here. 5 branches are studied. This is basically what it's going to be. It's going to be 5 branches, and then each leaf is going to be a sub branch. And this is what they're going to put the sub branch and briefly describe what the sub branches is in each leaf. And then below, the 5 senses they've learned previously is observations. They make observations using 5 senses, and observations what makes it's on the bottom of the tree because it helps the tree grow and make science even bigger and better. And this is just how to, if they want to do clip art or they can draw it by hand, is the requirements there. Then a brief little hint about doing clip art to save ink. They can color the pictures in any way they want. And then this is the grading scale. Again, I stated before, this is on Google Classroom for them, and they have laptops and they can refer to this as they need it. So this is basically, I grade everything on a 4-3-2-Z method. 4 is excellent, 3 proficiency, 2 needs improvement, and Z is incomplete. And I give effort grades. The effort grades really go to their report card at the end of the quarter. I do E and S and a U, excellent, satisfactory, unsatisfactory. So that's day 2 and 3. On day 4, they're going to be doing an artifact. And I do artifacts to really labs and artifacts to really show, this is their opportunity to show if they understand the content. 45% of the grade is artifacts because I really want them to understand the concept, not just rote drill it. And the other 45% is quizzes. All right. So we take a look at the next slide. The learning environment. The way I've set up my class is the students are in groups of 3 and 4 to promote cooperative learning. I will show you a picture of the pods in a second. Every time the students come in, I really want to create a positive learning environment. I greet them every day at the door. And one thing I've done differently this year is instead of hanging up posters that I choose, I left the walls blank. And throughout the year, I'm going to hang up student work and excellent examples of all the work. And it really takes pride in it's their classroom, not just my classroom. It's our classroom. Unfortunately, one of the challenges in my district is I am limited to changing the learning environment completely because I share classrooms with another science teacher in my room. I have the classroom from 8 a.m. till 12:50 p.m. And then at 12:50, I leave and another teacher comes in until 3 o'clock for the rest of the day. So as much as I create a learning environment, I do as best as I can. There's some things I would love to do, but I'm not able to do it because I share a classroom. It's all about creating that positive environment. And then every day there's an agenda and expectations that I put on the smart board every class period. All right. Some teaching and learning strategies. Something I've done new this year is I've tried to flip my classroom. Like I stated earlier, flipping the classroom is they do the notes and the readings at home. And then they come back, we discuss it. And in class, we do the artifacts in the labs because I become more of a facilitator and a tutor and really help those students. I can give them more individualized attention and it allows them to be more independent learners. I've noticed this year there are some obstacles that we have to get through. Obstacle 1 is students are not used to this method of teaching. One teacher and a colleague that I worked with says it's like changing the rules in the middle of the game. They're used to rote memorization, lecture, you spit the material back in a test, which is not the best way of teaching because every student's going to take the information in differently. And with the artifacts, they're allowed to explain it any way that they feel best. I've noticed there's also a lot of front loading of technology routines in the beginning of the school year. So we spend more time really showing the students Google Classroom, how to get to different things, how to use different tools to get to their notes, how to take their quizzes, because quizzes and notes are all paperless. It's online. With that said, I must allow a learning curve to adapt to the new technology model. Some of the students adapted faster than others, and the ones that adapted slower, we have to allow a learning curve to that. Some students don't have internet access at home, and we've set up a way for those students to adjust where they can still participate in the flipped classroom model without having internet access. One of the things in our building we have is Comcast gives free internet, not free, but cheap internet for $9.99 a month for low-income families. So we have set up some students with that access. Also, some students are not computer literate, and that actually surprised me because I thought students grew up in 21st century. Then again, it doesn't surprise me because a lot of students are awesome on smartphones, but they don't use laptops very much because we're on the go society. All right, so those are some obstacles that as I do the flipped classroom model, that I will learn how to adjust to them. All right, so let's identify and select some technologies. My district is a GAF district, a Google Apps for Education district. So every student has a Google login that they can access anywhere. It's awesome because it's in the cloud and there's no need for flash drives or Microsoft Word anymore. So Google Classroom, this is a place where students will read the article, do their notes, and take their quizzes. It's an awesome LMS, and the best part is it is free. I'm going to show you guys that right now. So here is Google Classroom. Oops, forgive me for that. Basically, this is a model of Google Classroom. It's where I can click and I can create an announcement. I can create an assignment. I can create questions. And this is a great way to really promote that blended learning and flipped classroom model, because they can have discussion with the other, and students are allowed to post things too. So this is where I post all of their notes. And if they need to, they can go to their calendar and they can go to multiple classes. So if you look at mine, I have all 5 of my classes, and I have the faculty because I'm teaching the faculty how to use Google Classroom. So obviously they have homework due today. And I put a discussion questions, and this is part of their participation right here. So really with that Google Classroom, it really is a great tool. And the best part, it is free, and Google always updates it and put great new tools on there. All right. All right. So the summative evaluation. At the end of the lesson, the outcome will be the students are going to create an analogy of how familiar topics can be broken down into categories in order to help them rationalize the necessity of science being broken down into branches. They're going to take their notes. They're going to take the group project information, and they're going to create an artifact. And I'm going to show you the artifact right now. Okay, if you take a look right here, this is artifact number 4, 5 branches of science analogy. They are going to create a picture analogy to show the understanding of how science is broken down into smaller groups, similar to any items. A library has thousands of books, but those books are organized into smaller categories or genres. They're not allowed to use that example. That's just one I gave them. So they're going to do their picture right here in this open area. Anything they want, anything that's broken up. And then after they draw the picture, there's reflection questions. Every artifact I have has a set of reflection questions. So questions are here. Why is science broken down into small areas of study? They're just this is their opportunity to really show what they know. And why is your analogy a good comparison of how science is broken down into small areas of study? They have to defend why it's a good analogy. Again, 5 branches of science. What are they? And how would science be different if it was not broken down into smaller areas of study? And they could use, basically, if you went to a library and notice, there's a bunch of books, but they're not broken up to groups. What would it be like? Same idea with using science. So this is part of their summative, and this is a big part. And at the end of this, after they turn this in, they take a quiz related to this section. All right. I want to say thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you took something away that you have not used before. Have a great day, and thank you again for listening, and enjoy your weekend, and go Cubs.